The space station orbited high above the blue curve of Earth, a quiet home for humans and aliens studying side by side. Alex, a young human student, had lived there for almost a year, sharing the station with beings from dozens of different worlds. For him, the strange had become normal. It was late evening, and the corridor outside his dormitory was silent. Alex sat on his bed, working on his datapad. The gentle hum of the station's engines was the only sound. He was about to turn off the lights when he heard a soft knock on his door. At first, Alex thought it was one of his human friends, maybe coming to borrow notes or just to talk. He stood, stretching his arms, and walked to the door with a small smile, but when it slid open, his smile faded. Standing there was Kira, his alien classmate. She was usually quiet in class, always sitting in the corner with her pale silver eyes fixed on the teacher. Her skin shimmered faintly like soft metal under the station lights. Tonight, though, she looked different, tense, almost scared. "Kira," Alex said softly, surprised to see her at his door so late. "Is something wrong?" Kira hesitated, glancing over her shoulder as if someone might be watching. "May I come in?" Her voice was quiet, almost a whisper. Sure," Alex said, stepping aside. He tried to hide his confusion. Kira had never spoken to him outside class before. She stepped inside carefully, her movements sharp and deliberate, like she was ready to run at any second. The door closed with a soft hiss. Alex turned to face her. "What's going on? Did something happen?" Kira opened her mouth to speak, but then stopped. Her eyes dropped to Alex's arm. He was wearing a loose shirt with the sleeves slightly rolled up. A faint glow shimmered under his skin, a mark shaped like a broken circle on his forearm. For a heartbeat, the room was silent. Then Kira froze, her silver eyes widening in shock. She stepped back as if she had seen a weapon pointed at her. "What is that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Alex blinked and glanced down at the glowing mark. It's nothing, just a scar I've had since I was a kid," he said with a nervous laugh. "It lights up sometimes, don't really know why." Kira shook her head slowly, her hands curling into fists. No, this cannot be," she muttered in her own language, words Alex couldn't understand. Her whole body was tense now, every muscle tight like a coiled spring. "Hey, calm down," Alex said carefully, raising his hands. "It's just a scar. I got it after some weird dream when I was little. I don't even remember how." Kira's breathing quickened. "A human cannot have that mark," she said, almost to herself. "That is impossible." Alex's confusion turned into unease. "Okay, you're starting to freak me out. What's so bad about a scar?" Kira looked at him, her silver eyes filled with fear. "Do not tell anyone you have this," she whispered urgently. "Hide it, cover it. No one can know." "Why? What's going on?" Alex asked, his heart pounding now. But Kira was already moving, stepping back toward the door. "You are in danger," she said in a voice so low it was almost a breath. "They will come for you if they find out." "Who?" "Kira, wait," Alex called out, reaching for her. But the door slid open and she slipped into the hallway without another word. Alex stood in the center of his room, staring at the empty space where she had been. His mind raced with questions, his heart still pounded from the look in her eyes. He glanced down at the glowing mark on his arm. The light seemed brighter now, as if it had heard everything and understood. He pulled his sleeve down quickly, covering it, for the first time since he was a child. The scar felt heavy, like it wasn't just part of his skin, but something far deeper, outside. The station remained quiet. The stars beyond the windows burned cold and distant. Alex sat back on his bed, unable to shake the memory of Kira's terrified face. Her words echoed in his mind. "You are in danger." Alex didn't sleep that night. Every sound in the hallway made him flinch. Every flicker of light felt like a warning. He stared at his covered arm until the glow faded, but even when it vanished, the weight of the secret stayed. Somewhere in the endless dark of space, something had changed, and Alex knew nothing would ever be normal again. The next morning, the space station looked the same, but for Alex, everything felt different. He had barely slept, his mind trapped in the moment. Kira saw the glowing scar every time he closed his eyes. He saw her face, fearful, pale, as if she had seen a ghost. Classes began as usual. Students filled the hallways, a mix of human voices and alien languages blending into a constant hum. Alex walked slowly, his sleeve pulled down tightly. Over his arm, he tried to act normal, but he felt eyes on him. When he entered the classroom, his chest tightened. Kira's usual seat in the corner was empty. The silver-eyed alien who had always been there was gone. Alex sat down. Forcing himself to look calm, hours passed, but Kira never came. Alex's human friend Daniel nudged him, whispering, "Hey, where's your alien buddy? Haven't seen her all day." "I don't know," Alex muttered, trying to sound casual. But his voice cracked a little. By evening, the station felt heavier, as if the air itself was holding a secret. Alex returned to his room. The silence pressing in on him. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the mark on his arm. It wasn't glowing now, but he could almost feel it pulsing under his skin. A soft beep broke the silence. Alex looked at his datapad. A new message blinked on the screen. No sender name, just encrypted text. "They know what you are. Run." Alex's heart skipped a beat. His hands shook as he stared at the words. "What I am," he whispered to himself. Suddenly, a faint sound came from outside his door. Not footsteps, not voices, something else. A low humming, mechanical and strange. He stood slowly, his pulse racing. The humming grew louder, closer. He moved to the door and placed his ear against it. The corridor was empty, silent except for that faint sound. Then, a soft flash of blue light slid under the door, glowing faintly on the floor. Alex stepped back, his breath shallow. The light pulsed once and then began to drift away down the hall, leaving a trail like a faint comet tail. He hesitated only a moment before pulling his jacket over his sleeve and stepping out. The corridor was deserted. The light floated just ahead, leading toward the maintenance tunnels, places students weren't allowed to go. "Great idea, Alex," he muttered under his breath, but he followed anyway. The deeper he went, the quieter the station became. The humming faded, replaced by the soft sound of his own footsteps. The blue light stopped at a corner and then vanished. Alex's breath caught, the shadows shifted, and then a figure stepped out from the dark. "Kira," he whispered, relief flooding him. She raised a hand, her silver eyes glinting in the dim light. "You should not have followed," she said quietly. "You disappeared," Alex said, his voice low but sharp. "You scared me half to death. You have to tell me what's going on. What is this mark? What am I?" Kira looked at him for a long moment. Her usual calm face was gone, replaced by something heavy and burdened. "That is not a scar," she said finally. "It is a key." "Key," Alex repeated, his stomach tightening. Kira stepped closer, her voice a whisper. "That mark does not belong to humans. It is from a race older than your species, older than mine. They were called the Veil, and they vanished thousands of years ago. That mark means their blood lives in you." Alex shook his head, his voice breaking into a nervous laugh. "That's impossible. I'm just a human kid from Earth." Kira's hand hovered over his sleeve, not touching but close. "You are not just human. If the others find out, they will not let you live free. They will take you, use you, or destroy you." Alex's chest felt heavy. "What do you mean, the others? Who are you talking about?" Before Kira could answer, the station lights above them flickered. A deep alarm echoed through the walls, followed by the cold, mechanical voice of the station's AI. "Warning, unidentified ships approaching outer perimeter." Kira's eyes widened, fear flashing like lightning across her face. "They have found you," she said, grabbing his arm. "We do not have time." Alex stumbled as she pulled him deeper into the tunnels. "Who found me?" "Kira, what's happening?" Her voice was tight, urgent. "Everything you know is about to change." Behind them, the faint hum of engines vibrated through the station, growing louder, closer. Alex looked back over his shoulder, the words from the message still burning in his mind. "They know what you are. Run." And for the first time, he understood. He wasn't running away from something. He was running toward the truth. The maintenance tunnels were cold and narrow. The walls hummed softly with the life of the space station. Alex's breath came out quick and shallow as he ran behind Kira. Her silver eyes glowed faintly in the dim light, guiding him deeper underground. Behind them, distant footsteps echoed, metallic and sharp. Whoever was coming wasn't human. "Kira." Alex hissed, his voice barely a whisper. "Who are they?" She didn't look back. "Hunters," she said, the word heavy. "They are not supposed to be here. Not on a human station." "Hunters of what?" Alex asked, his pulse pounding in his ears. "Hunters of you," Kira replied, her voice shaking. Just slightly, the words hit him harder than the alarm still echoing faintly above them. Alex had never thought of himself as anything special. He was just a student, a kid far from home. But now his whole life felt like a thin layer covering something vast and dangerous beneath. They turned a corner and ducked into a dark maintenance room. Kira locked the door behind them. Her hands trembled as she activated a small device. A soft dome of light surrounded them, and the sound of the outside world faded. "What is this?" Alex whispered, staring at the shimmering shield. "A sound barrier," Kira said. Finally turning to face him, "They cannot hear us now." Alex leaned against the wall, his chest rising and falling fast. "Okay, no more secrets. You dragged me down here. You scared me half to death. Now tell me what this is. Tell me what I am." Kira stared at him for a long moment, her voice dropping to a near whisper. "The mark on your arm. It is not just a key. It is a call." "A call," Alex repeated, confusion tightening his chest. Kira nodded slowly. "Long ago, before my people even learned to speak to the stars, there was a race, the Veil. They could shape worlds. They could create life. When they vanished, they left behind a signal, not in machines, but in blood. Your mark means you carry that signal." Alex swallowed hard, his mind spinning. "You're saying I'm some kind of alien experiment?" "No," Kira said quickly. "You are human, but you are also something more. Your blood carries their memory, their power. That is why the hunters are here. They serve those who fear the Veil returning." Alex stared at his sleeve, his hand trembling as he touched the fabric covering the mark. "Why me? I never asked for this. I didn't even know. No one ever does," Kira said softly. "The Veil choose without warning. They hide their legacy until the right moment." A sudden loud clang outside the door made both of them freeze. The sound of metal boots scraping against the floor sent a shiver through Alex's spine. "They are close," Kira whispered, turning off the sound barrier. "We must move." "Where?" "We're trapped," Alex said, his voice breaking. Kira looked up at the ceiling vent. "Not trapped, just higher." She climbed quickly, her metallic skin gleaming faintly as she pulled herself up. Alex followed clumsily, his hands slipping against the cold metal. The sound of the door being forced open echoed below as they crawled through the vent. Alex glanced back through the slats and caught a glimpse of them, tall figures in dark armor, their faces hidden behind smooth masks. Their movements were silent, efficient, like predators. "They don't look friendly," Alex muttered under his breath, his voice shaking. "They are not," Kira said, her voice low. "If they take you, you will never see Earth again." The vent opened into another tunnel, and they dropped down quietly. The air here was colder, thinner. They were close to the outer hull. "Kira," Alex said quietly, "why are you helping me? You said your mission was to find the one with the mark. You could have just given me to them." Kira stopped and turned to face him, her silver eyes softened for the first time. "Because I have seen what the hunters do. They do not protect life, they destroy it. And because," she hesitated, "because you are not just the key. You are my friend." Alex blinked, the weight of her words hitting him harder than the fear around them. He opened his mouth to answer, but a sudden vibration shook the tunnel. A deep, low rumble filled the air. Kira's eyes widened. "They are cutting through the walls. We must reach the escape shafts." They ran, their footsteps echoing through the narrow corridor. Behind them, the sound of tearing metal grew louder, closer. Alex's lungs burned, his legs ached, but he didn't stop. As they turned the final corner, a faint blue light glowed ahead, the same color as his scar. It pulsed gently, as if calling him. Alex's heart skipped. "Kira, do you see that?" She nodded, her voice barely a whisper. "It is answering you." For a moment, the fear faded, replaced by something else, something ancient and powerful humming inside his bones. Alex reached for his sleeve, and for the first time, he didn't hide the mark. The light ahead grew brighter, and the tunnel seemed to breathe. As they stepped into the glow, the sound of the hunters vanished behind them, swallowed by the light. Alex didn't know where they were going, but for the first time, he felt the truth pressing against the edge of his mind, whispering promises of who he really was, and he knew, whatever waited ahead, his life would never return to what it once was. The blue light wrapped around them like a living thing. It wasn't harsh or blinding, but soft and warm. Alex felt it sinking into his skin, touching the mark on his arm. For a second, the sound of the station faded, replaced by a low, rhythmic hum. When the glow dimmed, they were standing in a vast chamber Alex had never seen before. The walls were smooth and curved, made of metal that looked older than the station itself. Thin lines of faint light ran across the surfaces like veins under skin. "This isn't on any map," Alex whispered, his voice trembling. Kira's silver eyes scanned the chamber, her expression unreadable. "It is not part of the station," she said softly. "It is part of them." "You mean the veil?" Alex asked, his fingers brushing over the wall. The metal was warm, almost alive. Kira nodded. "This place has been sleeping under your feet the whole time, waiting for the signal." Alex looked at his arm. The mark was glowing brighter now, pulsing in time with the hum in the walls. "You mean, waiting for me?" Before Kira could answer, the chamber shifted. A soft vibration passed through the floor, and a circle of light formed in the center. Rising into a platform, symbols appeared in the air, strange and elegant, nothing Alex had ever seen before. Kira stepped forward slowly, her voice barely a whisper. "It is a memory vault." "A what?" Alex asked, following her. "The veil stored their knowledge in living code," Kira explained. "Not machines, not books, but energy bound to life itself. The mark on your arm is a key to awaken it." Alex stared at the platform, his stomach twisting. "You're saying this thing has been waiting thousands of years just for me to show up?" Kira turned to him, her face serious. "Not for you, for the one who carries the blood." Alex opened his mouth to argue, but the hum grew louder, the platform flashed, and a voice filled the chamber. It wasn't words at first, more like a melody, soft and deep. It slid into his mind, reshaping itself into language. "Heir of the living code, you have come." Alex's breath caught. "Did you hear that?" Kira nodded, but her face had gone pale. It spoke to you." The voice continued, soft and steady. "The seed has awakened. The bridge has formed." Alex stumbled back. I don't understand any of this." The walls shifted again, and suddenly the platform projected an image. A vast galaxy filled the chamber, but not the one Alex knew. The stars burned in strange patterns, and in the center was a symbol identical to the mark on his arm. Kira's voice was low, almost reverent. "This is their map." "Map to what?" Alex asked, his voice shaking. "Not to what," Kira said quietly. "To who?" Before Alex could speak, the alarm of the station returned, muffled but urgent. The hunters were close, their presence pressed against the edges of the chamber like claws scraping metal. Kira grabbed his arm. "We cannot stay if they catch you here. They will destroy this place and you with it." The platform pulsed once more, and the voice whispered a final message into Alex's mind. "Run, heir of the veil. The shadows are moving." The light collapsed back into the floor, leaving the chamber dark except for the glow from Alex's mark. The hum faded into silence. Alex turned to Kira, panic rising. "What does it want from me? What am I supposed to do?" Kira's expression hardened, her voice firm despite the fear in her eyes. "Live long enough to find the rest of the code." Before Alex could reply, the sound of metal boots thundered from the tunnels. The hunters were here, their shadows stretched across the doorway as the lock hissed. Kira's hand tightened on his arm. "Follow me, no matter what happens. Do not stop." The wall to their left suddenly shifted, a thin passage opening as if the station itself had heard her words. Without thinking, Alex ran, the glowing mark lighting their path through the unknown corridor. Behind them, the chamber filled with cold voices and the hiss of weapons charging. Alex didn't look back. His chest burned, his legs felt heavy, but something inside him kept moving. Something older than fear. As they fled deeper into the unknown passages, Alex realized the truth was no longer hiding from him. It was chasing him, pushing him forward, whispering through the mark on his arm, and for the first time, he felt it. Not just fear, not just confusion, but a spark of something else, destiny. The walls of the hidden passage trembled as Alex and Kira ran. The air was colder here. Sharp against his lungs, behind them, the sound of metal boots and harsh voices echoed. The hunters were closing in. Alex's heart pounded, each beat louder than the alarms. Kira, where does this tunnel even go? He whispered. Kira's silver eyes flicked back, glowing faintly in the dim light, away from them. If we are lucky, she said, though her voice lacked certainty. The narrow corridor bent sharply, opening into a large maintenance bay. Old cargo crates floated in low gravity. The faint hum of the station's engines vibrated under their feet. Kira pulled a small device from her belt, pressing it against the wall. A hidden panel slid open, revealing a set of access cards and an emergency map. She scanned it quickly. The escape shafts are 3 levels down, but we have to move fast. Before Alex could respond, a loud crash echoed from the tunnel behind them. The hunters had found the passage. Their silhouettes appeared in the dark, tall and sharp-edged. Run! Kira shouted, grabbing Alex's arm. They dashed across the bay, the low gravity making every step feel like flying and falling at the same time. A blue pulse shot past Alex's head, striking the wall and leaving a smoking hole. They're shooting at us. Alex gasped, his voice breaking. They do not miss twice, Kira said, yanking him behind a crate as another pulse tore through the air. Alex's hands shook as he pressed his back against the cold metal. We're not going to make it, he whispered, fear twisting his stomach. Kira looked at him, her silver eyes steady. You will. I swore to protect the heir. I'm not anyone's heir. Alex hissed, I'm just a kid. I didn't ask for this. Kira placed a hand over his covered arm, her voice soft but firm. The veil did not ask for permission to choose. They saw something in you. Now we must survive long enough to learn. Why? The sound of boots on metal grew louder, closer. Kira's hand tightened on his arm. On my signal, run to the lift. Do not stop for anything. Alex swallowed hard, nodding. The fear in his chest was a living thing now. Clawing at his ribs, Kira tossed a small sphere onto the floor. It flashed, releasing a burst of smoke and light. The bay filled with a thick haze, and for a moment, the hunters' silhouettes blurred. Go! Kira shouted. Alex ran, his legs burning. The lift door loomed ahead. He slammed his hand on the panel, praying it would open. The door slid back slowly, painfully slow. Kira dove in after him just as another blue pulse sliced the air where she had been standing. The lift shot downward, the sound of the bay fading behind them. Alex slumped against the wall, gasping. They're not going to stop, are they? Kira shook her head. Not until they have you, or until they are dead. The lift shuddered to a halt at a lower level. The doors opened to a long, dim corridor. The hum of engines was louder here. Alex stepped out cautiously. What now? Kira, scan the corridor quickly now. We steal a ship. A ship? Alex stared at her. I can't fly a ship. I can, Kira said, her voice sharp, but we must reach the docks first. They moved quickly, every sound making Alex flinch. The station felt different now, colder, emptier, as if it knew something dangerous was crawling through its veins. As they rounded a corner, a sudden glow caught Alex's eye. His mark was shining again, brighter than before. The light spilled through his sleeve, illuminating the corridor. Kira froze, her voice dropping to a whisper. They will sense that. We must move faster. Alex clenched his fist, trying to will the glow to stop. But it only pulsed stronger. It's not listening to me, he muttered, panic rising in his voice. The sound of engines roared above them, followed by the unmistakable thud of something heavy docking with the station. Kira's face hardened. They have brought more. They broke into a run, the corridor stretching out endlessly ahead of them. The docking bay doors were just in sight when a metallic voice echoed through the station. Target located. Alex stumbled, the words cutting through him like ice. He looked back, and in the distance, the hunters were there, their dark armor glowing, with faint blue lines moving like shadows given life. Kira, he shouted, his voice cracking. Keep running, she yelled, pulling him forward. The docking bay doors slid open, revealing rows of ships. Some were sleek and new, others old and rusting. Kira sprinted to a small scout shuttle, slamming her hand on the control panel. The ramp lowered with a hiss. Alex scrambled inside, his heart hammering. Kira followed, her fingers flying across the controls. The shuttle roared to life, the hum of engines filling the air. Outside, the hunters entered the bay, their weapons glowing. Alex saw them through the window. Cold and unstoppable, Kira slammed her hand on the throttle. The shuttle lurched forward. Breaking free of the dock, the stars exploded into view as the station fell behind them. Alex slumped into the seat, sweat dripping down his face. "We made it," he whispered, half laughing, half crying. Kira's silver eyes stayed on the stars ahead, her voice low and heavy. "No, Alex, we only just began." The mark on his arm glowed brighter than ever, casting a soft light over the small cabin. And in that light, Alex felt the truth pressing closer, not as a whisper now, but as a promise. The hunt had begun. The stars stretched out like a sea of cold fire. The small scout shuttle drifted silently, engines humming as it escaped the shadow of the station. Inside the cabin, Alex sat frozen in his seat, staring at the glowing mark on his arm. It hadn't dimmed since they left. The soft blue light pulsed gently, casting faint shadows across the walls. Every pulse felt alive, as if something inside his blood was awake now and watching. Kira sat in the pilot's chair, her silver eyes fixed on the endless dark ahead. Her hands moved over the controls with steady precision, but her shoulders were tense. Alex swallowed, breaking the silence. "We're safe now, right?" Kira didn't answer immediately. Her voice, when it came, was quiet. "Safe." For a moment, Alex laughed nervously, the sound thin in the small cabin. "A moment's better than nothing, I guess." He looked at her. "You knew this was going to happen, didn't you?" Kira's fingers paused over the controls. "I knew the hunters would come if the mark appeared. I did not expect it to be you." Alex leaned back, rubbing his face. "Yeah, well, I didn't expect to wake up and find out I'm some kind of chosen thing, whatever this is." Kira turned her head slightly, her voice calm but sharp. "It is not a thing. It is life older than stars. It is a choice made long before you were born." Alex stared at her, the weight of her words pressing down on him. "So what now?" "I can't go back to the station. I can't go home. My whole life is gone." Kira looked at him fully this time, her expression softer. "Your life is not gone. It is beginning." Alex let out a bitter laugh. "Great beginning. Running for my life, hunted by aliens I didn't even know existed last week." Kira's silver eyes held his, calm and steady. "You are still alive. That means you still have a choice. That is more than most get." For a long moment, the only sound was the hum of the engines. Alex exhaled slowly. "Why are you helping me, Kira? You could have handed me over to them and been done with it." Kira hesitated, her voice quiet when she spoke. "I was sent to find the air and deliver them to my people. That was my mission." Alex frowned. "So why didn't you? You could have finished your mission the second you saw the mark." Kira looked away, her hands tightening on the controls. "Because when I saw you, I realized something." Alex leaned forward. "What?" She turned back to him, her silver eyes reflecting the faint glow of his mark. "You are not just a key, you are human, you are alive. And the Vel's legacy should not belong to chains." The words hit him like a quiet storm. He sat back, his chest tight. "You risked everything for me." Kira's lips curved in the faintest hint of a smile. "Perhaps I also risked everything for myself, for the first time since the chaos began." Alex felt something push against the fear inside him. It wasn't courage exactly, but it was close. A soft beeping broke the moment. The shuttle's screen flickered, showing several red blips. Kira's face hardened instantly. "They found us." Alex's stomach dropped. "Already? The hunters have fast ships," Kira said, flipping switches. "But they are not the only ones in this galaxy who want you alive." Before Alex could ask what she meant, the shuttle shook violently. A larger ship appeared from the dark, sleek and silver, blocking their path. Kira cursed under her breath. "Not them." The calm screen lit up. A voice, smooth and cold, filled the cabin. "Air of the Veil. Power is not meant for human hands. Surrender, and we will keep you intact." Alex's hands curled into fists, his voice shaking. "I'm not surrendering to anyone." The mark on his arm flared suddenly, brighter than ever. The entire cabin bathed in blue light. Kira shielded her eyes, staring at him in shock. "Alex, it's responding to you." He looked at the glow, his heart hammering. I don't know what it wants me to do. The voice on the calm returned, harsher this time. Final warning. Kira's hand gripped his shoulder, her voice steady. Listen to it, whatever it is. It chose you. Trust it. Alex closed his eyes, the hum of the mark filling his mind. For a second, the fear faded, replaced by a strange calm. He raised his glowing arm toward the front of the ship. A pulse of energy exploded from the mark. Pure light cutting through the dark. The silver ship reeled back, systems flickering. The hunter's signals behind them vanished as if crushed by invisible hands. The light faded, leaving the cabin in silence. Alex slumped in his seat, gasping. What was that? Kira stared at him, awe in her silver eyes. That was the beginning of what you are. Alex looked down at the mark, the glow fading slowly. For the first time, he didn't feel afraid of it. He looked at Kira and gave a shaky smile. Guess, we're in this together now. Kira returned the faint smile. We were the moment you opened that door. The stars stretched endless before them. And somewhere in that endless dark, Alex felt it, a bond forming, not just of survival, but of something stronger. And for the first time, the thought of destiny didn't scare him. The scout shuttle drifted in the dark between stars. The hum of the engines was the only sound until a soft beeping broke the silence. Kira glanced at the screen, her silver eyes narrowing. They are gone. For now, she said quietly. Alex sat slumped in the co-pilot seat, staring at the faint blue glow still pulsing under his skin. His heart had slowed, but the weight of what happened hung heavy in the cabin. I didn't mean to do that, he whispered, whatever that was. Kira looked at him, her voice calm but firm. You did not do it by accident. The Vel's code does not awaken without choice. Something inside you wanted to fight back. Alex gave a weak laugh. Guess I'm full of surprises. He looked out at the endless stars. So what now? We just keep running forever. Kira turned back to the controls, her hands steady. No, we go to the Vault of Echoes. It is the last place the Veil touched before they vanished. If the mark awakened this much power, the vault will tell us the rest. The rest. Alex repeated. The rest of what? Kira's voice dropped to a whisper. The rest of you. The journey to the vault took hours, but neither of them spoke much. The silence between them wasn't empty, it was heavy, filled with questions. Neither dared to ask yet. Finally, the shuttle slowed, and Alex saw it through the viewport. A massive structure floating in the dark, older than any station he had seen. Its surface was smooth and seamless, like a single piece of carved stone. Faint blue lines running across it like veins. That thing. It's huge, Alex whispered. Kira's eyes stayed on the structure. It is not a thing, she said softly. It is a memory of a civilization, frozen in metal and light. The shuttle docked with a soft hiss. The ramp lowered, and they stepped into a vast hall lit by the same faint blue glow as Alex's mark. The air was still, heavy with an ancient silence. Every step echoed as they moved deeper inside. At the center of the hall, a platform pulsed gently, symbols swirling in the air above it. Kira stopped at the edge, her voice quiet. This is it, the final key. Alex stepped onto the platform cautiously. His arm began to glow brighter. The symbols shifted, spinning faster until they formed a single shape, the broken circle. That marked his skin. A soft hum filled the chamber. And then the voice returned, wrapping around Alex's mind like a whisper of wind. Air of the living code. You have come at last. Alex's chest tightened. Who are you? He whispered aloud. We are the Veil, the voice said, echoing like 1,000 soft tones layered together. We are memory, and we are waiting. Kira stepped forward, her silver eyes wide. What do you want from him? The voice answered without hesitation. Not want, need. The stars are breaking. The bridges are gone. He is the seed to build them again. Alex's knees felt weak. I don't understand. I'm just human. You are human, the voice said gently. And that is why you were chosen. The Veil built worlds, but they could not create hearts like yours. A beam of soft light rose from the platform, wrapping around Alex. The mark on his arm burned not in pain, but in warmth. His mind filled with images, endless stars, ancient cities of light, and a single promise whispered across time. You are not our weapon. You are our hope. Tears stung his eyes without warning. His voice cracked. Why me? Because you are the bridge, the voice said. fading into a low hum, because you will choose to save. Even when you are afraid, the light dimmed, and the symbols dissolved into the air, leaving only the soft glow of his mark. Alex stepped back slowly, his heart racing. Kira looked at him with something new in her eyes, not fear, not duty, but respect. "It shows you fully," she said softly. "You are not just carrying the code now, you are the code." Alex let out a shaky breath. "So, what now?" Kira's lips curved in the faintest smile. "Now, we stop running." The hall around them shifted, and for a moment, Alex felt the weight of the universe pressing close, not as a burden, but as a promise. He looked at his glowing arm, and then, "At Kira, I was just a student a week ago," he said with a weak laugh. Kira's silver eyes softened. "You are still a student," she said gently. "You are just learning bigger lessons now." Alex smiled. The fear still there, but smaller now, replaced by something stronger. He stepped off the platform, the glow lighting their path as they walked together through the ancient hall. Outside, the stars waited, cold and endless. But for the first time, Alex didn't feel small beneath them. He felt part of something vast and alive, and somewhere, deep in the hum of the ship and the echo of the vault, the Vel's voice whispered one last time, soft and certain, "This is only the beginning."